We rejoin the group, just as the meeting with Founder Rex is getting started. Founders Bellum and Abscondum had just come from the meeting seen in the last episode.
Hello friends, I trust that you had an interesting and productive meeting. We have a lot of important things to decide on, and bring to the Founders Council.
Yes. After this last meeting, I think that we do have the start of a good plan to deal with.
Wait just a second. I think you may have been followed. We should be able to trust everyone here, but with everything going on now, something does not feel right here. Hi Founders. What brings you this way? This was supposed to be just a quick meeting, with myself and Founders Bellum and Abscondum.
Yes, it's funny how we never seem to get invited, yet without our funding, you probably would have not been able to finish the project. We have learned a lot about science and other helpful things in the many years since the leap, yet it always feels like you do not value our contributions. Well now, we have given you plenty of time to solve this. We are not alone in feeling like it is now time for someone else to have a turn to lead, who can take us in a new direction. I have been a captain of industry. I have managed.
Meanwhile, back at the shopping area.
So what show do you want to see while they have their meeting?
Wait, oh no. Those fools must not realize that I still have a constant connection between my husband's mind and mine. We eventually liked that test so much that we never stopped or severed the mind-to-mind connection. I can see everything. This is really bad. They are trying to take control away from Founder Rex. Hurry, this is a coup led by those horrible donor founders. They are seizing power and want to start a war with the old world and are trying to steal our technology to do it. We have to warn everyone immediately. Hope, they are trying to kill my husband and Founders Rex and Bellum. Please quick, we have to save him. I cannot lose him. Please let's run.
With your technology, we could pop in and out invisibly, and get rid of every last one of the ruling families on both sides. We can end this war, and bring peace to the old world. Uniting it under my responsible leadership, we could live like kings. We do not have to run, when we can crush all who would dare oppose us.
Don't you think that we have already thought of and discussed every possible option, including that one? There is never an end to pretenders to the throne, or relatives, who would feel that it is their sacred duty to take back what is rightfully theirs. How long can you keep power over a people who do not want to be ruled by you? Yes, the world would be in part very grateful for any peace that you would bring. But how long would this last? People are only content to live under an oppressor for so long, then they fight. The ultimate deal breaker is the countless nukes and deep underground bases they have. Then there are the bombs to take out even the deepest of bases that they developed. If you fail to take out every single person before they have time to send a warning, then they could literally destroy their whole world. That is what their system of nukes is designed to do. It assures mutual destruction so that no one dares to take out the people in charge. They might not have this tech that we do, but they certainly can easily take out their enemies with one blow, if they wanted. The threat of mutually assured destruction is what stops them. Trust me, this is too risky to pull off.
So, they would rather kill themselves than accept me as ruler? I think not. You are weak and scared. Mass destruction has been a threat for 2,000 years. I will take my chances.
Early the next morning.
Wow, I feel really bad. But I am so grateful that we kept the mind connection from that study. I hated it for so long, but I cannot part with it now. It literally saved my life last night. I do not think I would be here now if you had not been so quick. I do not know how to repay you for that.
Nonsense. You do not owe me anything. You know full well how much you mean to me. I would never let you die, if I can do anything in my power to stop it.
It was so comforting to know that you were coming for me when I was in danger. Oh, where are Founders Rex and Bellum? Were you able to save them?
I had to put their bodies in stasis for now. Their injuries are too bad to bother fixing. We are getting them new bodies that should be ready soon. Until then, they can communicate with help from the digital interfaces they have. Their minds are active, and they are in no danger of death, thanks to you and Julie. They owe you to their lives.
And what about those traitors? Did someone catch them yet? They were going to steal my technology to attack the old world. That could start a war that can kill us all.
Remember? Julie saw and felt everything that you were going through, and knew your concerns as they were happening, thanks to your mind link. We had plenty of time to safeguard everything of value. There is no more threat from them. Word spread like wildfire of the attack. Few things wake the council up to immediate action anymore, with all the debates and endless disagreements. But I have never seen them move so quickly and decisively as they did last night. They are still rounding up all the conspirators. The two leaders, who attacked you last night, never knew about the mind link. They thought that they covered all their bases. When they went to retrieve the phase tech, they were caught, along with several who were helping them. As soon as it is safe, we are holding an emergency meeting. If you feel well enough you can come. Otherwise we will link you in digitally.
The consensus so far is that we are going to use your technology to escape. This little rebellion has woken us all up to know that it is not safe here anymore. We are leaving, and we are only taking with us people who are willing to commit to work and to live by a peaceful lifestyle. We will still protect the others, but they will not have our tech. We cannot risk anyone here attacking us, or attacking the old world, and bringing them here. It is too risky to leave too much tech behind. We will be safe, and will keep them safe.
We join the meeting already in progress. Of the roughly 500 founders who made the leap, a large part of them are in attendance either in person or through electronic means.
Okay, then to recap what many of you are discussing, serial monogamy is psychologically over these long years very similar to just being alone. The deep emotional ties that we form, over many years with one person, all get broken when we start over. The many ties that children and friends have to both of the people in the couple, then get broken too. We could never force anyone to be unhappy in a loveless marriage for eternity. That would be the most cruel form of hell imaginable. But problems come because of reasons. All that starting over does, is get you back to a more hopeful point, where you do not see all of the problems yet. Once more time passes, you have another set of problems, that still have to be dealt with. At that point though, you have even less supportive children, because they cannot have the same type of emotional and natural hormonal bonds to the replacement parent, as they did to the natural one. Yes, in a short life that still works. Over these long years, another, then another and yet another relationship passes, all because it is easier to move on, than address the root causes of relationship problems. You cannot expect the children of all of those relationships, or the society as a whole, to have any meaningful bond to you as a couple, after having to make, and remake those bonds, over and over again. The psychology of the couple also suffers. When you have been through relationship after relationship as many times as happens over hundreds of years, you tend to get less emotionally able to share, and less attached. When you know that the relationship is bound to end as well, you go into a mode where we cut our losses and make the best out of what we can. But the physical means less over time. Our bodies getting used to the natural drug that sex provides. The emotional goes down as well, with a decreased confidence in the future of the relationship. The solution that research has shown, and that the majority of you have decided upon, will be as follows. Puberty has to be delayed in our children. They do not have the maturity, at that age, to properly deal with the amount and type of natural drugs that their bodies so abundantly give them at that age. They have to gain wisdom and maturity first, since each relationship can have such long-lasting and dramatic effects for good or bad, in their families and society as a whole. We use each bond to strengthen us. We take the already existing hormones and chemical bonds between husband and wife, child and parent, and even with good friends, and we strengthen them. The strength of our society is based on the number, the type, and the durability of the bonds of family and friendship we have one to another. Yes, knowing exactly how our actions and everything that we interact with will affect us over the short and long term will help us. The problem we have found is that knowing in detail what our actions and other things will end up doing to another, we will either become a very caring person who is very good at meeting the needs of others, or a master manipulator, able to cause massive amounts of damage while being very hard to be caught. Getting back to the task at hand, our kids will have a later onset of puberty, so that we will have more time to teach them wisdom, compassion, and most importantly, a deep appreciation for living a life like we teach, rather than one of instant gratification. From there, once each individual has done sufficient learning and soul-searching, then we slowly introduce them to relationships and marriage. They must first have enough experience and opportunity to really know they are finding a deeply compatible match. Once they have had plenty of time to date and look around to where they decide to settle down and commit, then we make sure both are serious, then get the couple to the point where we have worked through enough problems, given them both enough problem-solving skills, to where we can introduce the mind link. When they are ready, the mind link allows them to share their deepest emotions, and connect at a level where they truly understand each other, and would never want to hurt each other. Our biology, genetics and hormones do have to be adjusted to make this possible, but extensive studies all show this as the most stable way to go. Once the couple is at that point, then they will finally be allowed to have children. At the current time, the genetics of every child will have to be selected from the natural combinations that couple has. In order for this system to work, we are forced to replace some problem genetics in the existing population, and breed it out, in future generations. We must have the ability to have deep empathy for each other. The genes that cause the genetically based type of psychopaths make it easier not to feel what others do, and harder to have deep empathy. Since our gene pool has been affected so badly by the years of war in times past, and by the genetic narrowing we had at the time of the leap, for our long-term health, and to help increase good traits like patience and empathy, we will be introducing selected genes, from both species of the extinct humanoids, from the other new world, into our own genetics. At this point, this is an absolute need to avoid the effects of inbreeding that will only get worse if we do not have infusion of new genetics quickly. Lastly, most of you have requested that we make it standard to duplicate the nerves involved in sex, to keep everything more interesting. We will not be doing that. We have instead decided to triple them, instead of double them, and also pair that with enhanced processing for a far longer experience, no pun intended.
In order to ensure security, so we can all feel safe that we are not going to be betrayed, my team has made a solution that will keep our privacy, but also let others around us know the basic emotions and intentions we have for each other. If we are lying and trying to take advantage, everyone will know and feel that. Otherwise, it will just be an enhanced version of what we naturally have to feel what others are feeling. We need to get closer to each other for all of our safety. The general information this system will share is needed for that purpose. It will not let others know too much about what we are thinking. Only enough to be safe, and to bond better as friends.
Of the roughly 500 founders that made the leap, sadly a handful are not with us anymore. Just as sadly, about 50 were caught in the treason plot. Roughly 300 are going with us as we leap and hide from the old world. The rest have decided to stay in this realm, and try a more traditional approach where drinking is still allowed, and where they do not have to try the new approach that we have just discussed here. That is all for the meeting. Those who are coming, be ready, we leap tomorrow. Those that are staying, we will have to wipe your computers and minds of anything related to tech that allows to leap through dimensions, or transfer to a new body. We cannot have that falling into the hands of the old world. We will be here for you to make sure you are protected and taken care of. It is too risky to leave the tech, but we will protect you and see you do not die. All we ask is that you solve these huge problems in a way that you are okay with, but that does work.
Please stay tuned for more exciting developments to come.